Welcome back to Mysteries in America, where we uncover the hidden histories, haunted places, and forgotten secrets scattered across the nation. Today, we're taking you to the edge of the California desert, to a town that once hummed with the promise of progress, but now echoes with mystery. Welcome to Eagle Mountain, a ghost town born from ambition and left to the mercy of time. Its empty streets and crumbling structures hold stories of prosperity, tragedy, and perhaps something even more unsettling. What happened here, and why do visitors say the desert whispers of a past that refuses to stay buried? Join us as we delve into the rise, fall, and spectral shadows of Eagle Mountain, California. To understand Eagle Mountain, we must journey back to 1948, when industrialist Henry J. Kaiser envisioned a modern marvel in the middle of the California desert. Kaiser, whose steel empire had helped build the ships that won World War II, saw promise in the untapped riches of the arid land. The result was Eagle Mountain, a planned company town built to house the workers who would extract iron ore from the surrounding mountains, fueling America's booming post-war economy. At its height, Eagle Mountain was a bustling community of over 4,000 residents. It had everything you'd expect in a thriving small town: schools, a hospital, a grocery store, and even a bowling alley. Rows of identical homes lined the streets, their white facades gleaming under the desert sun, while the distant rumble of mining equipment was a constant backdrop. To the families who lived there, Eagle Mountain wasn't just a workplace. It was a haven of opportunity, a place to put down roots and build a future. Life in Eagle Mountain revolved around the mine. The massive open-pit excavation spanned acres, its terraced walls etched into the earth like scars from a giant's claw. Workers labored day and night under Kaiser's watchful eye, their sweat and toil feeding the steel mills in Fontana. The steel from these mills shaped the bridges, skyscrapers, and highways that defined modern America. For a time, Eagle Mountain symbolized the country's unrelenting march forward. But the prosperity was not without its shadows. The relentless heat of the desert made life in Eagle Mountain a constant battle against the elements. Temperatures soared above 110 degrees in summer, and the dry winds carried fine dust that crept into every corner of the town. Workers often spoke of the desert as alive, an unforgiving presence that seemed to resist their intrusion. By the 1970s, the cracks in Eagle Mountain's foundation began to show. The rise of cheaper foreign steel and the dwindling quality of the ore extracted from the mine left Kaiser Steel struggling to compete. As profits dwindled, so too did the town's lifeblood. Layoffs came first, scattering families who had called Eagle Mountain home for decades. Then in 1983, the mine was closed for good. The company town so carefully planned and built was abandoned almost overnight. Today, Eagle Mountain stands as a shadow of its former self. The skeletal remains of the mine stretch across the desert, rusting equipment sinking into the sand. The once busy streets are silent, save for the occasional whisper of wind through broken windows. The homes, schools, and bowling alleys now sit empty, their walls bearing the marks of time and neglect. For visitors, the desolation is palpable, a stark reminder of how quickly dreams of progress can crumble into dust. But for some, the story of Eagle Mountain doesn't end with its physical decay. Over the years, rumors of strange occurrences have drawn the curious and the brave to its abandoned streets. Could it be that the spirit of this town, born of ambition and shaped by hardship, still lingers in the desert winds? Or is there something more sinister at play among the ruins? Eagle Mountain's story might have ended with its abandonment, but for those who have visited its crumbling streets, the town feels far from lifeless. The desert winds carry more than just the sands of time. They carry whispers, faint echoes of a past that refuses to fade. And while the town's physical decay is haunting in its own right, it's the unexplained phenomena that truly unsettle those who dare to explore its ruins. The mine, once the beating heart of Eagle Mountain, has become the source of many ghostly tales. One visitor, a photographer exploring the area at dusk, described hearing the faint, rhythmic sound of pickaxes striking stone. It was so clear, he recalled, like there were miners just out of sight, working deep in the pit. But when I called out, the sound stopped, and the air felt heavy, almost suffocating. Others have reported similar experiences, disembodied voices echoing from the shafts, or the faint cry of someone calling for help, only to find nothing but silence. In the town itself, the echoes of life seemed to linger. A paranormal investigator who visited the old schoolhouse recounted a chilling experience. We were setting up equipment when we heard it, a child's laughter, high-pitched and fleeting. It seemed to come from the playground, but when we went outside, the swings were motionless, and the only sound was the wind. Another group exploring the bowling alley claimed to hear the unmistakable sound of a ball rolling down the lanes, followed by the crash of pins. When we checked, the lanes were covered in dust, undisturbed for years, one member said. It was like the building itself remembered. The hospital, however, is where the most unsettling accounts emerge. One urban explorer described seeing a figure in the hallway, dressed in what looked like a nurse's uniform. She was there for just a moment, he said, her head bowed as if she was reading a chart. I froze, and when I blinked, she was gone. The air felt icy cold, and I couldn't shake the feeling that she was still there, watching me from the shadows. This spectral nurse has become one of Eagle Mountain's most infamous legends, said to roam the empty halls, searching for patients who vanished long ago. Campers who have braved the area at night often leave with stories that defy explanation. A pair of hikers recalled waking in the middle of the night to the sound of footsteps circling their tent. We thought it was an animal at first, one of them shared, but then we heard whispering, two voices, low and urgent. When we unzipped the tent, there was no one there, just the empty desert stretching out under the moonlight. Another camper described seeing a lantern bobbing through the ruins, its faint glow moving steadily before disappearing entirely. It wasn't a trick of the light, she insisted. I know what I saw. Local legends only deepen the mystery of Eagle Mountain. Some say the land was cursed long before Kaiser built his town, pointing to ancient tribal warnings about disturbing the desert's balance. Others believe the violent deaths and hardships endured by its residents have left a psychic imprint, creating a charged atmosphere where the line between the living and the dead blurs. And then there are those who whisper of a darker presence, something primal and ancient, awakened by the town's rise and fall. For those brave enough to explore its desolate streets, Eagle Mountain offers more than a glimpse into the past. It's a confrontation with the unknown. But whether you come for history or for hauntings, one thing is certain: the silence of Eagle Mountain is alive with secrets. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the forgotten town of Eagle Mountain, California, a place where the echoes of history and the whispers of the unknown intertwine. From the ambitious rise of a company town to its eerie afterlife as a playground for the unexplained, Eagle Mountain stands as a haunting reminder of how swiftly progress can fade and how the past often refuses to let go. But the mysteries of Eagle Mountain are far from fully uncovered. Is it the spirits of those who toiled and perished here that linger, or is there a deeper, darker force at play, something tied to the desert itself? Perhaps we'll never know for sure, but one thing is certain: Eagle Mountain is a place where history and mystery collide in unforgettable ways. If you enjoyed today's exploration, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode of Mysteries in America. Have you visited Eagle Mountain, or do you know of other forgotten places with stories waiting to be told? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and keep exploring the unknown.